to start off with letting everyone know all of our Angus beef, so wet aged, dry aged, and prime rib is all certified Angus beef. That's the top 3% or above when it comes to the quality of cattle and cuts. So quite literally some of the best steak you can get in the country. If not the world, if you consider our Wagyu here. I personally always start with the best of the best. If you look at the center of the right hand side of the menu, our Japanese A5 certified Wagyu. Flown in from Japan. It's from a farm called Aomori. It's a 12 out of 12 on that marbling scale, so top of the scale when it comes to the marbling. I always say it's like if steak and butter had a baby, just melt in your mouth. Strip loin this evening, we sell it by the ounce. It's 35 an ounce, minimum of 4 ounces. And this is 100% Japanese black when it comes to the type of cattle on that A5. And then below that on the menu, our domestic Wagyu from Rosewood Ranches out of Texas. That's this one here. This one's, the cattle is a hybrid between the Japanese black cattle and the Angus. So it's like about 50-50 or around there. But as you can see, it still has all that nice Wagyu marbling throughout. It also has the nice marble pockets you're used to, the traditional wet age ribeye. It's a really nice balance. You get that buttery mouthfeel on the front, but you get that robust finish. 60-ounce ribeye for $145 on this. We tried like 10 different domestic Wagyus, and none of them really up to our standards. This one really exceeded our expectations, and it's been on the menu almost 2 years now. So excellent option for domestic Wagyu. One of my favorite cuts on the menu. And then from Australia, a farm called Muse, right outside of Perth. 3 things I love about this ranch. 1, they have the largest herd of Japanese black cattle outside of Japan. They've gained a lot of notoriety for their quality Wagyus. You can see it's a beautiful cut here. 2, purebred Japanese black. So just like the A5, it's 100% Japanese black cattle. And 3rd, and probably most importantly, the lead rancher at this farm is of Japanese heritage and uses all traditional techniques when it comes to raising the cattle. So I always say
massages and everything.
Yeah, feeding them right, taking them out, yeah. But I would say it's pretty much the closest thing to A5 you can get without getting A5, and you get a 12-ounce strip for $145, so it's good cost per ounce as well. I personally think this is the best quality per cost steak we have on the menu. I love this cut, so I always tell people don't sleep on the Australian. It's an excellent option. Then as far as wet age and dry age goes, all of our loins come vacuum sealed in a bag of their own juices, no exposure to air. We let it sit on a shelf for 30 days. That's that wet aging process, just makes it more tender, more flavorful. Then after that, we'll open up some of those loins and put them in our dry age locker, so exposure to air at that point. Inside that locker, there's an anaerobic bacteria that continues to break down the proteins and the collagens in the steak, which makes it even more tender. Then also over time, as moisture evaporates, it concentrates the flavor as well. So more tender, more flavorful in the dry age. We dry age about anywhere between 30 and 40 days on top of the wet age. But more importantly, all the dry age cuts on our menu there are going to be bone in, and all the wet age cuts on the menu, except that porterhouse for 2 at the bottom there, those are all going to be boneless. That porterhouse for 2 is going to have a bone in it. But we do have one other option. It's an off-menu option. It's our wet age bone-in fillet. So it's the other bone-in wet age option. They call this the unicorn.